Okay guys, so I'm gonna pull out a Yahoo clip because many people ask, should I be listening to these fund managers as they're talking about the economy and talking about what to invest in and what not to invest in? I'm gonna challenge that a little bit. I'm gonna say, maybe we shouldn't be listening to them. And here's why. So I'm gonna pull up an article here. It talks about Fed critic Cathie counts on Republican midterm win for friendlier monetary policies. Now this is back from November of last year, of 2022. So this is before it all happened. But I'm using this as an example because it's so common to see what's happening. So Cathie Wood, if you don't know who she is, she has ARK Investments, right? Very popular fund manager out there today, but she got her butt handed to her in 2022. Got just raked over the coals with the performance of her fund. Now understand that 2022, this is actually even as of November of 2022, right? As of the end of 2022, this S&P 500 lost about 19.4%. Right? So we had the S&P 500 lose over 19%, the Dow lost 9%, and we had the the NASDAQ losing 33% by the end of 2022. Horrible year, the worst year since we've had, really, since the boom years, right? Since the last financial recession, the last global crisis. So 2022 was not good. She especially got beat up. So what is she going for? She's hoping for, of course, she wants, and it shows right here in the first one, she wants Republicans to win control of at least one chamber of commerce this midterm cycle, right? Why? Because usually, sorry, but this is the weird thing, okay? Usually Republicans have tighter agendas for getting the economy fixed. But it's also, it admits later in this article that Democrats tend to actually reap the benefits of whatever Republicans had. So Republicans end up outdoing their time, people are tired of Republicans, and by the time they come in, finally the financial benefits of what the Republicans are trying to do catch up, and then the Democrats get kudos for it, right? And then, of course, the Democrats run up the bill, they spend too much money, and then the Republicans have to come back in office. It's just going back and forth, right? Neither party, I'm not saying either party is great because they both have their issues, of course, as we well know. It's better time than ever to want to be an independent Republican, or independent representative, just filing independent or being another party in general. But she's just saying, hey, I'm hoping for a Republican Congress. Now this is also after she's talking about the feds. She's also talked about the feds being, she's a vocal opponent, it says right here, about stop rate hikes. She says, we're gonna create deflation, stop hiking rates. Now the question you have to ask yourself is, does she really think there's gonna be deflation? Or is she trying to tell the feds, hey guys, stop this because it's hurting my portfolio? It's kind of like Liar Liar. If you guys have seen that movie with Jim Carrey, and of course he can't lie for that 24 hours. He's in court, and he's like, objection. They're like, based on what? It's killing my case. It's hurting my case. Overruled. It's like, I know. That's what's happening here. Like, she's kind of like saying like, no, stop it. This is hurting my fund. Stop doing whatever you're doing so I can make more money and people won't be trying to pull their money out because I'm losing them so much money right now, right? So she has this great reputation, but it's getting trashed because her fund's getting killed, right? And so she keeps saying things like, hey, you guys should do this. You should do this. She's trying to run the economy based on what's best for her fund, not necessarily what's best for the economy. By the way, I'm actually in favor of what the feds have been doing by raising rates. Now, do I think it's necessarily doing the trick? No, it's not totally the trick there. There's other things that need to happen as well. I'm not going to get into it. But the problem is this, that she's telling people, here's what she sees. This is what you should be doing, right? Here's the problem, and I'm going to show it to you right now. This is it. This is the kicker. As of that November, I think it ended up being a little bit worse by the end of the year. I think it was about a little higher. But it said year to date, as of November, she had already lost 63% of her fund's money. That basically means, guys, that if you had $100,000 in there, you now have $37,000 left in that. If you have $1 million in there, you're now down to about $370,000. You just lost like 2/3 of your money in 1 year. And just so you know, it's not easy to come back from that. Because even if she had a great year this next year, let's just say 2023, and I'm not saying the year's gonna go up or down. I think the market's gonna go down some more, quite a bit more actually. But let's just say it goes up. And maybe she makes you 20%. Well, if you already lost all the way down to $37,000, well, 20% of that, 1/5, means you only make about just under $8,000. So that means you've got it up to $45,000. You're still not back up to halfway, even after making 20%. What's going on here, right? And then let's just say the next year she does another 20%. Well, you got $45,000, 20% of that is $9,000. Yeah, you're at $54,000. You're like, how is it possible we've gone up 20% year after year and I've only got half my money back? That's the problem, guys. And the problem I see here is this, is that she's trying to talk about, here's what I think is better for the economy. But it's because she's financially benefited from people keeping their money in her fund. She is a fund manager. Fund managers, who are often interviewed as being the experts in the media, are not the experts. They are quite literally, although they are, to some degree, they are like the actual mastermind behind some of these funds. The problem is that they're also salespeople, right? They want to keep you feeling good and happy about your investment with them. Your happy little pet, right? That's their happy little pet they hope that you stay in. And if you pull your money out, they're no longer getting paid their fees because they're paid on what's called assets under management, right? Or AUM. Assets under management means how much money do you have? If they were to pull out, say, 2% a year off of that, say you have $1 million with them, they're making $20,000 a year. If you pull out $1 million, they just lost $20,000 a year income, didn't they? That's what's happening. Imagine if this is in the billions, like with Cathie Wood's fund, right? That's the problem we have here. So this is my point right here, is that their money is based on you putting money into their funds. They're always gonna say it's a good time to buy, aren't they? Right? It's just like someone who's at a car dealership. Are they gonna say it's a bad time to buy cars? Of course not. They need to meet their sales quotas too. They're gonna say it's always a good time to buy. Financial advisors, no different. In fact, financial advisors are really kind of in bed with fund managers, aren't they? Because that's what financial advisors sell. They sell the funds that you buy. And this is the problem with this whole thing. This is why I tell people to turn off the media, turn off the news. Because guess what? You turn it on and it's the fund manager saying, buy the market, it's good. No, it doesn't matter if you lost 20% last year, it's still good. It doesn't matter if you lost in your ARK investment, it doesn't matter if you lost 2/3 of your money. Hang in there, stick with us, you'll be glad you did. And even if they do make some money back, maybe she does make a little comeback and does better, the problem is still the same. You are relying on them to make you money, but in truth, they're getting paid money regardless. And they're gonna say whatever they're gonna say to keep money coming into their funds, to keep things going. Heck, I even just saw it recently. I mean, coming more up to date out of November and into just recently in the spring of 2023, Warren Buffett, with the whole banking crisis starting to happen, Warren Buffett said, you know what, the banking crisis is over. No need to pull out your deposits, we're safe. The banking crisis is done. Guess what Warren Buffett did after the last global crisis? He bought a huge share in Bank of America. He actually helped bail them out. And he even said, like, hey, banks cost the American public no money. The taxpayers' money, no money at all. That's bull. We all know it's bull. But why is he saying that? Because he's got ownership in various different banks. And he doesn't want people to pull their money out. Because if they pull the money out of the banks, the stock price goes down. And what happens? Warren Buffett's price goes down. Do you see what I'm saying here? This is why, we don't ever raise capital in our company, right? Because I don't want people to think, oh, are you just telling me to buy this or invest in this because that's your investment? That's why we don't have investments. That's why we don't offer any investments. That's why we try to stay apart from that so that we can come with a more unbiased approach and give it real and raw. There's times that I've talked about strategies that are great, like for example, turnkey rentals, great strategy. But right now, for a lot of turnkeys in a lot of areas, I wouldn't be buying turnkey rentals. There's very few areas I'd be buying those in. Doesn't mean I wouldn't buy turnkey. It just means I gotta be very picky about it, and you should be too. But if I were a turnkey investment company, I would say, yeah, it's down a little bit, but you keep buying. Of course they're gonna say that, and you gotta question their motives. Follow the money, and you're gonna see exactly what they say. Stop listening to these fund managers. It's not worth it. In fact, if you wanna hear about how markets are being manipulated, check out this next video called Eat the Rich, the GameStop Saga.